Let's try that. Let's see how that works. It's not the microphone I want to use, but it'll work. We're going off of this, the camera, when I'm supposed to be going off of the Yeti microphone above it. Oh well. Hi. All right, so we're not using these. I had all of these out. I actually stopped the stream saying I was deciding between these three for my wood choice. I decided to go with this. Go with that old school red melamine look to the handle, and take a piece out of this dark red area here for the handle. Oh, hey, you can't see what I'm pointing to. That would be helpful if you could see what I'm pointing to. Be helpful if the camera was active too. I don't know why that's defaulting either. So many things are funky with this setup. Like, this is not in any way, this is very much hacked together to get it to work right now. Stream is not working as intended. Oh, hey, I happen to have some nice coffee here that I'm taking my first sip of now because I waited to drink this on stream. Oh. All right, so we got this choice for this handle. I think I'm going to go with this. but you can hear me here? Yeah. Now you can hear me here again. What is with that? I don't know why the audio was cutting out there. I don't know how long I was muted yet again. Hi, so I'm having audio issues that are very mysterious to me right now, and have to entirely do with my wonky setup over here. I'm currently using a camera microphone, which is not usually the best plan, because for some reason, even though it's letting me set, no, stop playing that. So even though it's playing, apparently fully attached to my microphone, recognizes my Blue Yeti microphone that I've had for years and years now, and just doesn't pick up any audio. I don't know what's up with it. And then I had this camera selected, and I don't know if I changed scenes or what I had done. It stopped working. And now it's back, hopefully. So that's good, at least for right now. Back to sitting down so I can cut things. Alright, so I am using you for my beads. And trim this down a bit so we get rid of a bit of our gap for I'm having the hardest time figuring out what I wanted to do for this piece, and I'm still not 100% sold if I want to do it here or if I want to do it here. This saves a bit more glass. What? Muting for the vacuum. Okay. That's weird. Okay. I switched. It did it to me again. Probably when I switched to muted, I muted so that I could vacuum. And I came back, and I guess when I unmuted, it didn't really unmute. I'm not unmuting it to get the music, the audio to come back. What I'm actually doing is changing the source back and forth in OBS. Like, it's not supposed to be doing this way. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, we have pretty much everything cut out on this now, other than the knife blades, which I have the pieces of paper here for the knife blades in the little circle, and we have this, which is the centerpiece there, which I have the sheet of white here to work on that a little bit later. So yes, things have been progressing quickly. I've also had to do some other fun stuff for this project. If anyone's just tuning in, like, I couldn't find a project board large enough for this, so there's a little piece of aluminum L bracket here that I've got one at the top and one at the bottom of this. I'm sort of tacking two project boards together in order to lock everything together to do this, because I can't find Homo soap locally, and I paid through the teeth for these two boards, and I'm not going to do that again. That's so weird. And captions aren't working anymore still. I say still because they didn't work last stream either. Arg. Other exciting things, you'll notice
Is that working? That's sort of working.
Let's go back to you. Well, okay, you're working again. Other exciting things. Okay. Well, I don't know if I covered this, but like I said, I couldn't find project board, so I've taken my two overpriced pieces of small project board and tacked them together using adhesive pads and a aluminum L bracket on top and bottom with this. I really need to find some 440 Homo soap at one of these places, like Home Depot. All the local places don't have it. Also, you may notice the ugly, dirty, well, visually dirty tray that I have underneath my grinding setup. That is a very temporary situation. I've bought myself a nice proper tray to put underneath that. I realized that I need a tray underneath it because this thing is designed so cheaply. It's not a cheap grinder at all, but it is designed so cheaply. It has a water reservoir in the bottom of this grinder, and you can't, it's designed so you can't shake it at all. You can't move the water at all, really, because otherwise then it will start getting into the motor of the grinder. Not a very good system, but you need the water in order to keep the glass particulate from being dust. You need the water on the grinding bit, and you need the water there. But motor and grinder and water and motor don't work well together. Okay. This is gonna be a short stream if I have to keep doing this with the audio, because this is not going to fly. I don't understand why it's doing this, but this system has all sorts of wonky weirdness going on. I just don't have the heart to do it, but I really need to just format this system. Anyways, so I decided that I absolutely need a tray underneath this thing. And so I have bought a proper tray that is coming that will fit this whole setup nicely, allow me to pull the drain on it. That way all that water can drain out of the top of it and work and be able to transport it to the sink to actually clean it. Because this thing also gets filthy, like, really quick. Anyways, nothing to be whining about my setup. Let's hope the audio kicks in. Otherwise, this is what we're working on. I am putting these two knives together on this piece here, something like this. Okay. We've got the knife still to do. I've got the bottom part of the hat still to do with all the individual smaller cuts to it. Otherwise, we're pretty much set. Otherwise, we're working. We're going to be heading towards grinding, and I assume the microphone's going to cut out on me again here soon. So I'm just going to go back to cutting, and we'll sort of treat it as a work session, and then I'll come back with audio when there's stuff to talk about. Okay. I want it on this end or this end. I sort of want to skip that eye that we got going here. Yeah, I think we're going to try and skip that eye in the glass. Not eye. I don't know what to call it, really. It looks like a wood knot, basically. It's got a little oval going there. I'm pasting the glass today for some reason. I don't know why. I should be pasting the edges of the paper. Oh, darn it, I didn't trim this one down at all. We need a little trimming on this one. I went pretty heavy on the black around the hat and the knives, so I'm leaving a little black around the hat and the knives, but pretty much everything else gets the border deleted. Oh, hush fun. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Hush puppy. Hi, puppy. The back edge of that comes in there, and we're gonna have to grind a couple edges on that one. Okay. So we got our black away now. We got our metal material away, rather. Do I drill this out tonight? I think drilling this out is the next step here, so that we can get that blue piece in here. But $62 is really annoying me. I think we're going to redo 62. I'm dithering. I'm going back and forth. I can't decide here, and so I'm giving up and going with this piece. But I need my knife. Need to pull this paper up off of this. Microphone stuck around for a bit this time. Maybe it's because I'm constantly making a little bit of noise from this peeling paper. So I've decided to move the cut from the bottom to sort of the top almost on this piece. It previously broke. Let me get these scraps out of the way here. It previously broke going down through the piece, going down there. When I was trying to get it to do this curve, I was trying to fill out this curve. And I think going from here to here is a much easier cut, because we can then make this small little piece. This is almost venturing into like stained glass repair territory, because this is largely what it is. It's you take the solder back out of whatever piece. That's the part that we're not doing. Use there's a couple of different ways that you can use to remove solder. They have tools that sort of suck it away if you're doing So that broke. So we're back to peeling. I guess I'm just an appealing guy. I mean, if I didn't want to peel all this, I could print another one out and just go off of that, but I'd rather deal with a little peeling than dealing with printer ink. Thinking of that, I should probably buy some. I don't have a backup of my printer ink right now. I should buy backups.
But I have plans for all my funny money this month.
Mm-hmm. Silly, but do I have that setting set on Twitch on this channel? That should be set on this channel. Let's see. Okay. So, got audio back. I've now modified my chat settings so that we'll hopefully get a few less spam bots in chat, because now they can't put their URLs in my chat anymore. And they have to be actual accounts to be chatting here. Well, that isn't necessarily true, but it's more true than it was before. A couple minutes ago. That one sort of surprises me that Twitch doesn't default to automatically blocking URLs in chat. Like, it's okay to have the option to allow URLs to I'm trying to fix the sound issue. I'm taking a little bit of a sort of break from Cuttin. Let's clean up and then we'll do that. Put the knife back away. Put the cap back on this, even though we're going to need this in a couple minutes. Get rid of our excess blue glass, or blue glass scraps. Well, that's how mute's supposed to work. They're too small to do anything with it. I don't want to bother throwing them out separate. I'm going to mute for the mic for the vacuum. Okay, we've muted, we've vacuumed, cleaned up. Let's move this down so everyone can see all this loveliness for a couple of minutes. And let's see what's going on with this audio. In fact, I think this is probably a good moment for a little bit of an AFK break. So I am going to do that while I try and diagnose audio stuff. I shall be back.
Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread gives you 7 ounces of non-fat milk solids in every loaf, the equal of 90 quarts a year if you serve it regularly. Every sandwich you make, every snack, gives you extra milk. For wonderful flavor combined with sound food values, serve Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread in the pantry pack.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
Well, no wonder my laundry bill is so high. All those napkins last week.
Doeskin.
What?
You should use doeskin dinner napkins.
Paper napkins? Oh, no.
I don't mean thin little paper napkins, but doeskin dinner napkins. You'll love them.
Everybody loves doeskin dinner napkins. These soft linen-like napkins are 2-ply in smart formal fold, in white and in beautiful pastel colors. And doeskin dinner napkins are big. They cover your whole lap, and they stay put. What's more, they last throughout the meal, and they leave no lint.
But they are nice. And they would save my linen.
They save you money, too. Doeskin dinner napkins cost only 49 cents for 5 dozen. That's a fraction of a penny apiece.
All right, Dottie.
You'll find doeskin dinner napkins, doeskin facial tissues, and other doeskin products at your favorite grocery, supermarket, department store, or drugstore. Look for the brown dispenser box.
Doeskin.
Something different for a change? Then try the perfect refreshment. Chili Dilly, a delicious pickle treat that's spiced just right for every bite. Economical, too. There's no waste. You eat every bit of the juicy goodness of Chili Dilly. How about trying one right now? Chili Dilly, on sale at our concession stand. You'll love 'em.
Hey, kids, look what's new. A brand new cereal just for you. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the storybook package. See? Inside, delicious, crispy, crinkly stars. And outside, a real storybook. All about Twinkles, the magic elephant. See him fly with his rotor tail. Watch him do tricks with his magic trunk. Meet Twinkle's friends, Fulton the inventor, Sanford the parrot, Wilbur the monkey, and more. Read all about their adventures on every storybook package of Twinkles. And wait till you taste those golden little stars, filled with the goodness of energy oats and corn. Remember, only Twinkles has the storybook package. Just tear the magic line and your storybook opens. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the storybook package.
Daddy! Gee, Mom was counting on that Jell-O cake for Johnny's Scout meeting tomorrow. Okay, Daddy. It's so easy to make a cake with Betty Crocker cake mix. I'll make her another one. White cake, devil's food, yellow cake.
It's a good thing her mom's modern. I'm Betty Crocker. With my yellow cake mix, all you do is add water and a couple of fresh eggs. The other ingredients are in the package. Same fine things you'd use right in your own home. You'll get a perfect cake just like this, or write General Mills, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they'll send your money back. A high cake, a light cake, a better tasting cake.
And don't think it isn't. That's why Betty Crocker herself says,
I guarantee a perfect cake every time you bake, cake after cake after cake.
Everybody needs energy-packed Sunbeam bread. Yes, it's all aboard for fun in the park, but Junior hasn't got energy enough for fun. He'd sure like to ride that horse. Hey, what's this? An energy-packed Sunbeam sandwich. You bet every delicious slice of Sunbeam bread sure does pack a big energy wallop. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. Now, look at them go. On Sunbeam Energy, they sure do enjoy life. Everybody needs the kind of real zip and zing pep that delicious Sunbeam bread gives you. Yes, stay on the beam with energy-packed Sunbeam bread. All day long, eat Sunbeam bread and renew energy as you burn it up. Eat delicious Sunbeam bread.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip to
Let's try you now. That's better, but we need to clean up our filters. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Well, it looks like we're back on the Blue Yeti properly. And, I've taken myself a little bit of a break. We've gotten patched. Am I getting into crime? Well, we gotta finish this first anyways. Don't know which to do or how to approach this, really. I may have bitten off more than I can chew here with this project, with this part of this project. Oh, hey, start following me again, please. Thank you. Like, I don't even have proper controls for my cameras on this system because I'm using Linux and I'm using a cheap PTZ camera, and the cheap PTZ camera does not have Linux-based software. Wow, this thing is awfully... Oh, we have to go this way anyway, so this is going this way. But it is so much wonky. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a wonkiness to this hat. Like, the hat seems like it's... Doesn't seem like it's really leaning one side or the other, and then you look at this thing, and this is all over the place. This is more like a... This is more like the peak over here than here. Okay, I think I need a straight edge. I can just use another piece of glass for a straight edge. You'd be able to do that action with these. These things shouldn't be... Then again, you know that they've done this on purpose because the kids are going to lose this. And adults, but especially the kids. Nope. Can't quite reach there. So we at least got that done. I'm intimidated by how many cuts that is. I mean, I got plenty of white to do that I can burn through. Not that I really want to burn through glass, but I don't want to cut it through the paper. I think I'm actually going to break this after I grind it. I think I am going to... My next step here is getting everything prepped for grinding. If my camera doesn't want to go crazy again. Oh, computer. I hope we can figure this out, computer. I've never been a huge puzzle person. My parents are puzzle people, and they do puzzles all the time. But I've never been a huge puzzle person. And this is very much a puzzle game. Like, this whole thing, grinding these all to match, making they all fit together in the first place. This is very puzzly. I very much like that about this. I'm very much enjoying that, and this is sort of like pulling me into this a little bit. Good stuff. Good stuff. Finish off my coffee. Well, I think we all know it's my first coffee of the day. We'll be having another coffee later. I got a little water here, too. Ugh. Oh, do we... Let's see. It's 11 o'clock. Do I get into grinding today? I think I'm going to drill out 38. We'll start with grinding in the next stream. I started this stream about an hour early. 45 minutes earlier than I normally intend to. That was not entirely on purpose. That was because I have you have streaming coming up alarm at 9, and then another one at 9:45 to get the actual stream going, which I could do smaller alerts or notifications, but I use alarms. It's what works for me. And the alarms, I tripped up and thought the 9 a.m. alarm was the 9:45 alarm, or 9:42 alarm, if I'm being truly specific about this. So I started a little bit early today. Unintentionally. Okay, we need grinding bit, which I don't know where I put the grinding bit, and I need my Dremel, which Dremel is hidden under here. How convenient, I threw the glass bit in here. I have power strips on either side of the table here. However, this one's almost entirely full already because of all the computer junk. Most of the permanently powered stuff is over on this side, like the monitor, the CPU, the light, the camera track thingy. Okay. I need something to drill on. Again, I need some cardboard. Let me go find some cardboard without like an address that I want on it. No. I don't have any fresh cardboard. That's unusual for me. Where's my cardboard? What do I have that I can drill on that I'm not worried about drilling on? It'll work. In fact, I might even have worse ones too, but it'll work. This feels so light. It's like balsa wood or something. This is lightweight wood. I think I want to X-Acto that little piece of paper out of the center. Actually, do I have... Where do I have an X-Acto? Go. Safety squints enabled. Two things I forgot about this. I'm grinding glass, so I probably want some ventilation on that, since I don't have a whole bunch of water on it. That probably killed all the light for you, but... And two, we want some water for that. I'm going to go clean this off, rinse it off quick. Okay, that's one of three that I'm probably going to have to drill here. Because that drill bit is not big enough for this bad boy to grind down in. Just barely. Wish I could just... grind that right down into the hole. That does seem to be sort of working. Yeah, that does seem to be somewhat working. We're progressing down into that piece, so I might actually see if we can't just grind straight down into that piece. Well, the other concerns are that if I do another hole, it weakens this, and I also sort of need to grind this corner off. That's going to be a turkey with that hole being in there. I think I have to stop here. Like, my initial plan here was to do 3 holes in here and then sort of break out the center of this piece, so that I was planning to do 3 holes in here and then break out the center and then use my small bit to grind around the hole. I think because this fits so well, it doesn't go in there yet, but it's actively grinding in there pretty well. That if I get that into my grinder, I might be able to grind through that pretty easily. But I'm also realizing I don't want to do a second or third hole right now, because that's going to very likely create a stress way that this glass can break out and crack in one of those 2 directions. And if I have this center out, it's also going to make grinding this small little piece of glass on this edge much harder. And so I think I have to come in here, I have to grind down these edges to the point that I want them, that it fits in here. And then I'm going to try grinding this into there. And if this doesn't grind into there, the alternative is coming back and drilling 2 or 3 others and hoping that it doesn't crack. So I think that is the current plan. I think I have to grind this before we can go any further with the hole making. For anyone just joining in, we have inline, there's a fan, 4-inch fan inline in this tubing. We have carbon filter that I already need to replace on this side. Just catching anything on the way in so that it doesn't even go through the fan. And then down at the bottom, I have one of those big things that you see for like weed grows. Indoor filter, indoor charcoal filter, big can that the tube goes into. I don't really have a camera that I can shoot underneath the desk, but it's down there. So all of the air that gets sucked through this thing, and you can tell that it's pulling air because it pulls this filter. This filter is just held in place in the end. It pulls it tight against there whenever it's on. So there is a suction. And blows it out down there. It's not the most perfect setup, but I think it's the best I think I can do for my situation. Like, the ultimate idea would be to have that can that I have there outside. So it's filtering the air and then letting it go out into the world. But, I don't have an easy window to blow it out. Okay. That's a bummer, because I thought I could get that further along. I think that's where we're going to leave. Well, let's cut 38. That way we have all of our pieces to grind. Where'd you go, Romo? Reusing produce rubber bands to keep my Dremel cord together. Safety squint's disengaged. I don't know why I'm bothering with this, considering it's not even really a circle anymore. But oh, you lost me, camera. Oh well. Okay, so I think this is a little bit of a premature end to tonight's stream. This morning stream, rather. I am not prepared to get into grinding today. I'm not gonna fill that thing up and get going today. But I think we're gonna start with that on our next stream on Sunday. And going to start grinding, start hopefully getting all of this to fit together nicely. Get rid of some of these excess corners and stuff like that that just aren't cooperative easily. That does mean a lot of grinding sounds next stream. I think I'm going to try going with the microphone on as far as grinding and wait for people to complain. Otherwise, I'll check the VOD afterward, and if it's disgusting, I'll never let it hit the microphones again, but we'll see. Let's see what's going on in the world today. Let's do what's going on in the world today with Chef. Ooh, wow. Like, I knew the air issues were problems in the Midwest and, like, Northeast, but they're showing pretty south in this. Like, they're showing... This is a... Maybe that's just... I guess that's just Philadelphia area, so that sort of makes sense. That's sort of like peak area for it. That's a bummer with wildfires. Like, follow me again, please. There we go. That's sort of the problem with wildfires, and I can sort of suspect there's a little bit of political, we don't need to worry about these fires burning, so we're just going to let them burn and let them smoke them out. But wildfires, it's very much you pick a line and you have to defend the line, and there's not a whole lot of control there. They try to, but there's only so much you can do to control something that's wild. I mean, it's in its name, wildfire. Let's see. Actually, that's something to consider. I don't want to keep the vacuum there. reading about a strong quake off of the Mexican coast and realizing, oh hey, if I'm sitting here, I probably don't need things above my head here. So I didn't grow up with earthquakes, but I've now lived with them for a decent percentage of my life. Let's see here. And reading about the fresh produce dealio illness that's going on, and it seems somewhat tied to they're doing their best to fight this, but it sounds like it's somewhat tied this year to Taco Bell lettuce, grown in California. But it is just all produce. It's something, it's just a wave that hits this time of year every year. Upstate New York man charged with throwing loaded handgun at state trooper. Do I have a web? I don't have a website. That was giving me too many issues. Oh, it's not really charging. Well, the article title got me. Charged with throwing loaded gun at state trooper. Reality is, felon has gun. Is breathing Michigan's wildfire smoke really like smoking a pack a day? Wow. It's really that bad? Like, I haven't really looked at the photos this year. I saw the photos, like, was it last year, year before, when it was all smoking out all of New York? Stock market today, NASDAQ market leads market fall amid surprise economic data. So confused by, like, camper accidentally discovers ancient meteor crater on, no. It sounds like Lucid is, the automaker is going bankrupt, which is a bummer. If only because it was competition for Tesla. And I think that there needs to be a lot more competition in the world, especially in major markets. There needs to be more battery-based automakers. There needs to be more internet providers. There needs to be more streaming providers. There needs to be more, like, everything. I've talked about this before, but I'll rant a little bit today. Everything sort of just... We all seem to dial it down to the monopoly, but it's not really monopolistic. Hey, Soph, see ya. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm just going to chat for a little bit, and we're going to call it after this. I just didn't want to cut it with only having done like an hour and a half at that point.
New Japanese restaurant brings revolving sushi and robots to South Charlotte, South Carolina. Or North Carolina. I knew that. It was the Carolinas. That's sort of surprising. I didn't know that they had too many of those markets here in the States. I know they're a thing in Japan and parts of Europe, but the whole conveyor food thing, that's interesting. It is a sushi joint, though, so it would be the type of place to do that. That's a major investment. Like, I don't see how people do that these days. You imagine the amount of money you have to pay to build a conveyor belt through your restaurant and then build the seating around the conveyor belt? Like, I know there's a lot of this available online markets and you can buy most of it, the cost of all of that, just so that you can do that rather than... I mean, I know people are expensive too, but that's a lot of money just to get rid of runners. That's a lot of money to just get rid of runners. No reprimands after safety review of Blue Angels flyover of Florida Beach. Then again, they're doing everything they can to hype the military right now, so that was maybe even on purpose to begin with. If you did not see, there was a very impressive viral video yesterday or the day before of the Blue Angels buzzing a beach. Like, really close. Let's see. New details. San Francisco movie shoot. What are they shooting in San Francisco? Oh, it doesn't have a title anymore. It doesn't have a title yet, or they're keeping it a secret. Loosely titled 2034, directed by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Wow, that's sort of amazing to have all that information just in a news article. Estimated spend of $1.7 million in San Francisco, including 100 hires, 356 hotel room nights. 300. How do you come to 356 hotel room nights as an estimate? That's amazing, the amount of people and amount of work that they put into movies, and hey, this is one guy. Oh, let's see. More about Taco Bell and lettuce. Everyone in chat missed out yesterday on the Olive Garden Infinite Pasta cards. They had those yesterday, apparently, where you get like 3 months of all-you-can-eat pasta for $100. That's not something for chat. Scientists discover the brain doesn't make decisions the way we thought. New studies suggest the brain begins making decisions much earlier than previously thought. Researchers thought that even primary sensory regions are influenced by higher brain areas through rapid feedback loops. Rather than simply passing information forward, this dynamic view of brain function could help engineers design future AI systems that think more like biological brains, using far less power. Yes, that's why we're discovering this information, so that we can make AI more powerful. That's what we all want, right? Let's forget about, actually learning how we think and how we work and operate as organisms. This is going to work well for AI. Okay, that's deserved. China rejects Trump's election interference. Deserved. Let's see. No, I don't want to log in. Let's see here. I'll do a quick check if there's any new drama in the streamer land. Everything's streamer uni right now, which yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. Now that I've bored you with looking at web pages for the last 30 minutes or so, I'm going to leave this here. This is now a grinding project. So I will come back here on Sunday, and we're going to start grinding. Hopefully I can get this back off of here without ruining the piece of glass. Let's get myself a proper tool for that. I need something that I can slide underneath it, like a longer knife than I have here. You'll work, maybe. Oh, you're too thick. Okay. I'm gonna go grab a knife. I'm gonna grab a copper knife. We're gonna slice that off, and then we're gonna call it. Okie dokie, folks. That is our wrap up on cutting for this project. And now we get into grinding. Sunday. I'll start at my normal 10 a.m. time instead of earlier. Hopefully. Thank you for joining in. I will be back here on Chef JT at 4:30 Pacific. That's a while from now. 4.5, 5 hours from now. Doing Can It Be Delicious tonight. Can it be delicious? Chat's going to choose between 25 cans. Choose 5 of them that I have to use to make my dinner tonight. And or dessert. Along with what else I got in the house. So I hope you come to join. I have to go figure out if I have enough cans to do this or not today. Have a good one, folks. I will see you back here a bit later on the other channel. Bye-bye.